week late on Let's Learn a New Skill Together video, but here we are. As promised, we are going to make goat milk lotion. So I've made the lotion several times. This was over the summer. I made some unscented just because I needed some for sunburns and dry face and everything else. So I have made it. We love it. I've only ever used this one recipe because it's worked so well for us. And my only thing is I've had it go sour on me before. I've had it sour on me a couple times, but this last time it seems to be doing really well. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to kind of walk you through a couple of the things I use, and there's several different ways to do it. One of the big things is there's oils you have to melt, and the way I like to do it is I take my crock pot, I put a glass bowl in it, warm water, I set it on high, and this is where my oils will melt. We also typically use frozen goat milk. If it is frozen like I do in these little breast milk bags, it falls out fairly quickly, so it's not a huge deal. Another hint, because I may forget to mention it later, we use emulsion wax, and that's what this is. It's little pellets, and the emulsion wax takes forever to melt. It is what it is. It just takes a while for it to melt, but once you get it all melted, it comes together really quickly. And we're going to be using scent oil in ours today, something you can leave out. I have made unscented, and it's fine. That's what this is unscented, and this is what I would use like on my face for sure, on sunburns. If you're wanting to use it for like eczema or something like that, I would always use unscented. But if you're not sensitive to anything like that, you're more than welcome to put scent in it. I like scent. This scent is from Hobby Lobby, so it is not necessarily the cleanest or the best ingredients, but it works for what I'm doing. This little doodad is a batter. See this open circle? That little doodad is a batter, like pancake batter squeezer thing, my bobber. And that is really good to put your lotion in jars. If you're going to keep it in one big container, you don't need it. If you're going to put it in little jars like we will, it's very helpful. It's still messy, but it's better than like trying to spoon it all out. Just a couple little things in case I forget to mention it in the middle of the video. And like always, despite the fact that he just went outside, Mr. Sock Eater. Just so everyone is clear, you all need to have family meetings and let your pets know eating socks is not acceptable and will land you in the vet hospital for 2 days. Ask me how I know. How do we know that? How do we know that? So, let's get measuring. So there's a couple different ways you can measure your stuff out, especially your oils that need to melt. What I'm going to do is put my melting bowl on my kitchen scale, zero it out, get the first ingredient in to the right weight, zero it out again, and can build it like that. There's other ways to do it. You can measure it all individually and then put it in there. This is just the way I like to do it. So the first thing we're going to put in is our emulsion wax, and this is just a ounce shot glass thing, measure ounces. But you can see, there it goes. It's just little beads, and this, we only need a little bit of this. Okay, so we have our emulsion wax in there. We zero it out. We move on to our next thing. The next thing we're going to be doing is coconut oil. When you're doing lotion, you can do a couple different oils. I like just doing all coconut. I have also done almond, some almond and some coconut in the past. I just prefer to do all coconut oil. Oh, it's not as soft as it normally is. There's our coconut oil. This is shea butter. So, and these are all the things that need to melt. We've got coconut oil, emulsion wax, and shea butter. So we're going to put it gently in here with one hand. I am going to put my lid on top of it just because it makes me feel better. And that's all that has to go on here for now. And now we wait for those to melt. It'll take us quite a bit of time, but it is what it is. We'll also be using a little distilled water, and you can add more or less water depending on if you want it to be more like a body butter or like a pump, like a lotion pump bottle. If you want it lotion pump bottle, you want it a little more liquidy. Then I want a nice thick creamy lotion. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'll bring you back when that's melted and ready for the next step. Now that we're home from all our other family stuff we had to do today, I can start my video again. While I was gone, I went ahead and left this on low to let that immersion wax melt. So now we have our oil mixture, and we're going to add in our goat milk and our water. And now we use our submersion blender to mix it all up. So now we're going to add our scent oil, and we're also going to add our preservative. And we mix again. It's really runny at first. It is really runny. It's like batter right now, but it will firm up some because you can see this one. Just like a blizzard. So it will get there unless we've added too much water. And if we have, it's okay. Or too much water or milk. And if we do, that's okay. We'll just turn it into, we'll just put it in a lotion pump and it'll be fine. These are the jars I typically use. You can also just use a mason jar too. Earlier in the video, I talked about using my pancake batter to load my jars. But since this is a single batch of lotion, and normally I make like a double and a double or a triple batch, I actually was able to mix it in this big batter bowl. So it has a spout, and I can just pour it. When I do lotion, I do like to keep a wide mouth jar, or at least one that doesn't have a taper. That way you can get into the very bottom of it. And I don't typically like to use these taller jars because it's a little harder to get down in the bottom. So, wide mouth, or at least with no taper, so you can get all the way to the bottom, and the shorter jars the better. And this big boy will be for my personal lotion. Oh, you cannot eat lotion. And that is goat milk lotion. It is actually a lot simpler and actually less intimidating to make the lotion than it is soap, or at least it was for me, because soap has lye, and lye is scary, or at least I'm scared of it. But the lotion is pretty simple. The biggest thing is making sure your preservative is actually going to preserve your lotion, because you are using soap, or you are using milk, and you don't want it to sour. I've had some of my earlier batches had soured on me, and the unscented lotion I did over the summer has lasted really well, and so I think I've got my preservative on point now. But that is how I make my goat milk lotion, and hopefully you'll feel inspired to do your own, or find it from someone else if you're not. That is all I have for you today, guys, and I will see you on the next video. I'm Megan from the GWP Homestead. Bye, guys.